Welcome to the Full Court Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Sheldon Moore. And for our first topic, we're going to talk about the Denver Nuggets coming back from an 0-2 deficit against the Timberwolves, the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Denver Nuggets have come back against the Minnesota Timberwolves. As we know, they were down 0-2. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they put on this fantastic performance in Denver with amazing defense. Offense was really good. Anthony Edwards was giving you 30 points. Cat was doing good. Rudy Gobert was good in the first game. He missed the second game. Nikola Jokic wasn't the start. The team on the Nuggets as a team didn't do really good those first two games. And all of a sudden now, they have flipped the switch. The Timberwolves were dominating the Denver Nuggets. They were dominating them. But the two games in Minnesota, the Nuggets flipped the script. They tied the series up. Jokic was doing his thing against Rudy Gobert and the Minnesota Timberwolves defense. Anthony Edwards in those two games, he was playing good. He had a 40 ball in game 4. Cat, on the other hand, he was a little inconsistent. I think Cat needs to do better because without Cat, they're not going to win anything. You can't be inconsistent. I think in game 4 he only had 13 points, 12 rebounds, and he started out like 0 for 10. You can't do that. I feel like the Timberwolves, their bench has to come to play because Naz Reid in the first two games was giving you really good minutes. Gilgeous-Alexander Walker, he's been giving you good minutes. I think they've been a little inconsistent. Jaden McDaniels, his defense has been really good, but he's not really giving you nothing on the offensive end. But in game 5, Nikola Jokic had probably his best game ever. It was a statement game. It was probably one of the best. It's definitely probably the best game of the playoffs. It was probably the best game of the playoffs. He gave you 40 points. I think he didn't have like a monster rebounding game. He didn't have that. Really wasn't monster on he did give you 13 assists. He had 40 points, 13 assists, 7 rebounds. So he dominated. He showed everything of his game. The scoring, the passing. He even showed a little athleticism. He had a couple of dunks. The Timberwolves couldn't stop him. But I would say the key is that Aaron Gordon, he played good too. Aaron Gordon gave you 18 points. And I feel like when Aaron Gordon is playing good for you, is giving you something on the offensive end, you're gonna win. Michael Porter Jr. really hasn't been good this series. It's kind of crazy though, because against the Lakers, he was amazing. Now this series, not so amazing. I'm actually not shocked at that, but that's neither here or there. People are saying Rudy Gobert, he's been getting exposed by Nikola Jokic. He's not doing nothing on the other end of the floor. I think Rudy Gobert is actually playing good defense, if we're being honest. People are making it seem like Rudy Gobert is literally just letting this dude just get easy layups on him. And I don't think that's the case. I just think Nikola Jokic is just so good. Like, there are just some players that even when you can do everything in your power. It's like, when you grab somebody when they're about to lay the ball up, you grab them and then they still throw it up and it goes in. At that point, it's like, bro, what can I do? I grabbed him and he still got an and one. That's what it's like with Rudy Gobert right now against Nikola Jokic. He is doing everything he can. Like, he's playing single. When he does play single coverage on him, he does everything. Bro, I watched him. Nikola Jokic hit a step back 3. Bro, Rudy Gobert was in his face. He stayed with him. And it's like, it just went in. He was doing he did a dream shake on him. I thought that was good defense. Jokic just hit. So I think Rudy Gobert is just getting like unnecessary slack because other people, like these other NBA players, are basically just saying, oh, Rudy Gobert really don't play defense. And I just think some of them just don't like him. Hey, that's you. If you don't like him, you don't like him. That is what it is. But I think he's playing good defense. I will say this, Anthony Edwards, bro, you're the best player. You've been basically dropping 30-some points this game. You can't give me 18 points, but they was blitzing him. The Nuggets were definitely blitzing this man. I think this was probably the first time all series that they blitzed him in game 5. They definitely blitzed him. Bro, they was like, look, you was not beating us. You're not beating us today. I will let anybody else beat us. I'm going to let Jaden McDaniels beat us. I'm going to let Cat beat us. I'm going to let Nas Reed and Gilgeous-Alexander Walker. I'm going to let them type of dudes. But you, Anthony Edwards, no, I'm not letting you beat me, bro. And that's what Mike Malone did. He had a game plan. And I can see tonight in game 6, he's gonna do the same thing, bro. But the Timberwolves gotta come up with a plan for Anthony Edwards to get it going, bro. Like, Cat gave you 23. And that's all fine and dandy. But we really need Anthony Edwards to go off. We need him, bro. This is a win or go home game now. Once again, Nas Reed, you gotta give me more than 7. Mike Conley, I think he's gonna play today. They said that he was present at shoot around. He has an Achilles injury, but they say he was present. I think he's gonna play. I just think, like, right now, Jokic is just on another level right now. And people were saying in the comments, like, oh, this age will. And it's like, I mean, hey, it did, because the Nuggets were dominating. Like, they really was. Not the Nuggets, the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves were dominating the Nuggets. And you can't lie and say they wasn't. Bro, they basically had the Nuggets on lockdown, but the Nuggets have flipped the script, and now they're up 3-2. And they have a chance to go back to the Western Conference Finals. They have a chance to go back and are 8 wins away from winning another championship. For tonight's game, though, I expect Anthony Edwards to drop at least 35. Well, he knows he has to. Bro, nobody on that court really can't stop him. So I don't expect them, when he gets guarded by KCP, Michael Porter Jr., I don't expect none of them to stop him. I just think they just blitzed him a lot. And Rudy Gobert, I ain't gonna lie. I think he's still gonna play good defense, help side defense. And I think he's still gonna play good. Nikola Jokic is just really that good, man. It's nothing you can do. And Cat has to stay out of foul trouble, bro. And that's what I said in the beginning of the series. I said, I wanted to see what they're going to do. Are they going to put Rudy? I said, is Rudy Gobert going to start on Nikola Jokic or Cat? Cat has played some good defense on Nikola Jokic, because I think he moves faster than Rudy Gobert, so he's able to stay in front of Jokic better. But Cat be in foul trouble early in the game. You can't be getting basically almost 2 fouls in the first quarter or 3 fouls in the first half. You can't do that, bro. Because now you got to put Rudy Gobert on him, and there's no help side defense to really guard Jokic. And I think what the Timberwolves are doing is actually pretty good. Cat to start on Jokic and Rudy Gobert to start on Aaron Gordon. Because when it comes to just shooting, Aaron Gordon isn't a threat. Now, if Aaron Gordon just hits 5 threes, that is what it is. You know, hey, if he owned one that day, I'll live with it. But Cat on Rudy Gobert has to, Cat on Nikola Jokic has to be better. He has to just stay in front of him and not do no ticky-tack fouls. You can't just reach in, or one of them fouls, he like almost tripped him for what? Why are you tripping him? Like, there's no point of that. There's no point of that. I believe that this game tonight will be better. I think Cat's going to play good. I think Anthony Edwards going to play good. I can see Nikhil and Nas Reed giving you good bench minutes for the Nuggets. They actually haven't had a signature Jamal Murray game. I think Jamal Murray's best game was game 3. He did play good that game. He played decent. But like Jamal Murray hasn't gone off. He hasn't gone off yet. Like he hasn't given you a 30-point game yet. And I do believe that is because of his calf injury. Because last game, he only had 16 points. He was 7-14, only had 16 points. So Jokic just had a statement type game. He just had a statement type game. So Jokic is gonna do him. I expect Jamal Murray to play better in the closeout game. I think Michael Porter Jr. is gonna play better in a closeout game. I think this is gonna be a great game. I truly believe that. I think this is gonna be a great game for everybody to watch. This has probably been, maybe outside the Patriots and Knicks series, I'll get to that later. This is probably the best series in the second round, and honestly, probably the whole entire playoffs. So I believe I'm sticking with my pick. I did say Timberwolves at 7, and when they went up 2-0, I was like, oh, this might not go to 7. They might go to 5 or something, but I think it's going to 7. I'm sticking with Timberwolves in 7. And I think they're going to play good, and I can see an Anthony Edwards signature game. I think he's going to drop 35 to 40. Wouldn't be shocked if he dropped 50 points. I will not be shocked. But I do believe there will be a game 7. I do believe that. And if the Nuggets do somehow win this game, good for them. But Jokic plays good. Jokic is going to give them 30 points. Anthony Edwards is going to give them 30 points. The key for this game is going to be Cat. Cat has to play good to start off and stay out of foul trouble. So Timberwolves will win tonight, and that's going to be it for that. Timberwolves in 7. All right. So the next series we will be talking about the Knicks and the Knicks and the Pacers. We'll go with that. Knicks and Pacers. So the Knicks, they were down 0-2, went in the Garden. They was playing. They played good in the 2 games in the Garden. They just didn't execute well. Then you go to game 3. They played good at home. They played really good at home. And Nembhard probably hit one of the luckiest threes ever, bro. But it was a clutch 3. You got to give him his credit. Tyrese has come to play. He came to play in that game. He dropped 30 points. And I just think that they played better defense in that series. And the Knicks, they just did everything they could. Like, they're really out of bodies. If we're being honest, they're really out of bodies. And they can only do so much. And in game 4, I feel like I don't want to say the Knicks just gave up. I'm not going to say the Knicks just gave up. But they did get they got 30. They got beat by 30 points on Sunday. And that game was over after it was 4-2. And let's just be honest. That game was over after it was 4-2. Pacers came out, punched them in the mouth, and nobody really had to go off. Got good bench production from OB, TJ McConnell. They just came out. Now in game 5, the Knicks, they gave the beat down to them. Knicks came out with energy, not being at home for 2 games, come back to Madison Square Garden, and they just beat them up. They bullied them. They bullied the Pacers, and once again, I don't know why with some players how you just choose not to be aggressive. Like Tyrese has been was aggressive in his game from games 2 to 5. From games 2 to 4, my bad. On game 2, 3, and 4, Tyrese Halliburton was aggressive. And I was hyping him up. Tyrese is my guy. He's my guy. And I was like, look at Tyrese. He ain't been assisting because he's been scoring. He's been scoring a lot. But I was like, Tyrese is going crazy right now. He's dropping 30s. He's doing all this. And then in game 5, he only took 9 shots. Bruh, you can't just choose when to not. You can't choose when to not be aggressive. Now, I would be better. Like, I would be better at him. Like, if he was being aggressive and nothing was just falling, then that's just an off day, or they're just playing some good defense on you. That's not the case. He's just not being aggressive. That like you gotta be better, bro. For them to have a chance, you gotta be better. You gotta be aggressive. Pascal, I think Pascal had a good game on in game 5. I just think that he just hasn't been what they thought he was in this series. Like I expected Pascal to at least give me 25. He hasn't been doing that, but last game he did play good. Miles Turner, I don't know how. Well, you Miles Turner, you are so big, bro. Like you are a big dude. Like you're like almost 7 feet, but somehow you can't rebound. I don't get that. Like Isaiah Hartenstein looked like Dennis Rodman out there, bro. He had 12 offensive rebounds himself. And guess how much the Pacers had offensive rebounds? They had 5 offensive rebounds and 25 rebounds total. Like, how is that possible? I always say when it comes to rebounding, you have to want to go get the rebound. You have to want to go get the board. And these guys don't be wanting to go get the rebounds. I don't get it. Miles Turner, you got to be aggressive on the rebounds. Like, offensive end, I think you're playing okay. I think you're playing good. But you got to be better at rebounding, bro. Because Pascal, he's going to rebound to an extent, but you're the tallest dude on the Pacers. So you got to be better at rebounding. Now, on the Knicks side, hey, man, Jalen Brunson said, I'm not going today. Jalen Brunson dropped 44 points and was a plus 31 when he was on the court. I think I heard a lot of people, and maybe it might be true. Maybe getting blown out in game 4 was actually a good thing for them. Because none of them really didn't play a lot of minutes. None of them really played a lot of minutes. So they was able to get some rest. They were able to get some rest on the bench. And that might have gave them some fresher legs than usual. Like Josh Hart, he didn't play 48 minutes. He hasn't played 48 minutes in the last 2 games because they got blown out and then they blew out the Pacers in game 5. But Isaiah Hartenstein has been playing. Isaiah Hartenstein has been rebounding really good. Josh Hart played good. DiVincenzo, last couple of games, he really hasn't been playing good. But, he's going to get it going. He's going to get it going eventually. He's been the best three-point shooter in these playoffs. So I expect him to get it going. Jalen Brunson, I think we're probably going to see another 35, 40-point game from Jalen Brunson in game 6. Because I think he knows that, bro, if we can get this game, we can end these guys early. Now, the rest part, I think the Eastern Conference Finals, that will start on Sunday if the Knicks do win tomorrow. If they do win tomorrow, it'll start on Sunday. So the rest factor really isn't going to help them on that. But you're trying to get rid of these dudes as quick as possible. I will say this for Tom Thibodeau. I like the move of putting in Miles McBride because it helps with the spacing. Because I was like, okay, you lose OG. I don't know when OG's coming back. They said he got back on the court a couple of days ago. Just some light work on the court. I think just cardio or just on the court in general. But you put Miles McBride in, that helps with the spacing and taking pressure 2 out because he did start Precious in game 3 and 4, but that doesn't help with your spacing though. Like Isaiah Hartenstein doesn't shoot. Chris Achua, he doesn't shoot. Josh Hart, he does shoot, but I'm not scared of Josh Hart. I'm not scared of Josh Hart shooting. I'm only scared of him getting 12 boards and being the energy bunny. That's who I'm scared of. So putting Miles McBride in, you are going with a smaller lineup. But it definitely helps with the spacing. Miles McBride dropped 17 points, and that's a great 17 points. He was a plus 25 on the court. So that helped. So that definitely helped them. And I'm giving credit to Alec Burks. Alec Burks has been really good coming off the bench. Alec Burks can play, though. He can play. So I don't know why Tom Thibodeau didn't play him. It's like he has to wait till somebody gets hurt for me to play you. But Alex Burks can play. I think he can really play, and he's been giving them good minutes on the bench. He's been giving them good minutes off the bench. Man, I ain't gonna lie. When Jalen Brunson see Andrew Nembhard, bro, he be cooking him, bro. And I think Andrew Nembhard is just doing the best he can. Jalen Brunson, I think, is just bigger and stronger than him. And Andrew Nembhard can only do so much. He can only do so much. But when he sees Andrew Nembhard, he be cooking him. He really be cooking him. And Jalen Brunson just has his way. He's gonna get in the hole and do that pull-up jump shot. Boy, it's automatic. Or he's gonna draw a foul. But that I like. You have to keep Aaron Nesmith on him, and then when TJ McConnell comes in the game, TJ McConnell has been really good for the Pacers. He's been really good. And when Aaron Nesmith is on him, he plays the best defense because he has the length. He has the length on his side that can guard him. I originally said Knicks in 6 because I just thought the Knicks were just. This was obviously OG was playing. I was like, if the Pacers win game 5 somehow, I said the Knicks gonna lose because they is not beating them in game 6 at home. And the Pacers just gave out, bro. They just basically just gave the game away. They just gave the game away. And it's like, bro, you gotta be better. Y'all gotta be better than that. It was 121-91. That's 30 piece. You got 30 piece. Come on, man. We gotta be better than that. But I had Knicks in 6, and that prediction can still come true. That prediction can still come true, and I believe that I think that the Pacers will somehow fight it out and be able to win game 6 at home. I kind of don't see the Knicks winning that game. I think the Pacers will win that game, and I think it's gonna be a game 7 on Sunday at Madison Square Garden. Man, that arena gonna be amazing. Hey, that arena is gonna be amazing for a game 6. I just think that the Knicks are just out bullying them, and the Pacers, that defense ain't gonna do no justice for them, but that offense is gonna be good enough. If their offense is just clicking for the Pacers, they can win. They can basically win this series. I think they have a better, they play faster than the Knicks. And I think their offense is just a little bit better, but the Knicks they're just bullying them and have more heart than them. Like Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and DiVincenzo, the Villanova boys, they just play harder than them, and that's probably what's gonna get them this win. So, like I said, I had Knicks in 6, Knicks in 6, but I won't be shocked if the Pacers do win in game 6 and force a game 7. And if it does go to a game 7, if it does go to a game 7, I have the Knicks winning because I see with that crowd, man, that crowd is amazing at Madison Square Garden. So I think the crowd will be on our side. I think Jalen Brunson will play good if it is a game 7. So Knicks in 7, but staying with my pick in Knicks in 6. Okay, so next series, we are going to talk about the Mavericks. The Mavericks in the Oklahoma City Thunder. Mavericks take a 3-2 lead. Luka Doncic had probably his best game of the series. He had 31, 10, and 11. And a surprising thing, Derrick Jones Jr. came to play. Derrick Jones Jr., he gave them 19 points on 7 for 9 shooting. I was not expecting Derrick Jones Jr. to do that. I'm not going to lie. I was not expecting him to do that. PJ Washington before this game has been the best player so far. If we're being honest, PJ Washington has been the best player this series. In this series, he was dropping 20 points. He was playing defense, rebounding. He was playing good. But Luka had his best game, 31 points with 22 for 12. The Mavericks, they're bigger. Obviously, they're bigger than the Thunder. The Thunder are just a small team. And, that is what it is. But that's no excuse because they've been a small team all year. They've been having Jalen Williams play the 4 and Chet at the 5. And I think it's better if Chet play a power 4 in the future. But we'll talk about on another day. But you got production from Derek Lively. Derek Lively gave you 11 and 10 off the bench. You need that. Derek Lively gave you 11 and 10 off the bench. Tim Hardaway. I'm not going to lie. Tim Hardaway has not been good. He only gave you 12 minutes. I don't think Tim Hardaway really that good. He just like I say with shooters. If you can't shoot, feel like you just don't do nothing for me. I think you just really don't do anything for me. But PJ Watson, he gave you 10 boards. I don't know what's wrong with Kyrie Irving because Kyrie Irving was the best player in the Clippers series. In this series, he's just been a little bit inconsistent. He's been really inconsistent. Game 1, he gave you 20 points. Game 2, he gave you 9. Then in game 3, he gave you 22. Then he gave you 9 in game 4 when they lost. And then he only gave you 12. It's like Kyrie Irving is just not. I don't even want to say he's not being aggressive, but I don't think he's being aggressive enough. Because I don't think nobody really on the Thunder could guard him. Now you are putting Jalen Williams on him, Cason Wallace, etc. Shea. You're putting those guys on him. But I just think he needs to play better because it's really been the first half. He hasn't been good. Like he'll end in the first half, he'll end with like 6 points, and then he'll drop 20 in the second half. I think he just has to start off good in the first half. You have to start off better than that. And I think he can start off better than that. Kyrie is one of the best players, is one of the best scorers in the league. Probably the best scorer ever in some people's eyes. If you think Kyrie best scoring ever, hey, that's on you. But he know he can get his shot whenever he wants. And there are games when he has been passive. He has been passive. So I don't blame him on that. He's getting people involved. But on the scoring side, Kyrie, they need you, bro. If they want to close this out on Saturday, I think they play. Yeah, I think they play Saturday. If they want to close this out, you have to be aggressive. You can't just start out slow and then try to turn it on. And no. You got to turn it on from tip off. And I think he can do that. I think he will do that. Now on the Thunder side, I think the Thunder, they're really just not getting, they're not really getting help from the other star type players, if you want to call them stars, Jalen Williams and Chet. Like, I'm not counting on Lou Dort to give me like 16 points. Lou Dort is just gonna shoot open threes when he's open because they're gonna leave him open and try to play the best defense possible on Luka Doncic. He has been the primary defender on him. And he has given Luka some troubles. He's making Luka earn these points. Shea, I think Shea has been pretty good in his second series as being the guy. I think he's been playing good. He's been giving you some 30 balls. But I think Jalen Williams and Chet just got to give you more. Like, Jalen Williams went 6 for 13 with only 12 points. Like, you got to be better than that, bro. You're basically the second or third best player on the team. Like, Shea is counting on you. Like, Shea can do everything he can, but he needs help. He needs help. So, you got to at least, like in game 6, well, it's win or go home anyway. You got to at least give me 20 points. You got to give me at least 20 points. And Chet has been good on the defensive end, protecting the rim. I get all that, bro. But you got to be better too. You got to show your dominance. Like, yes, you are going up against bigger, like, centers and Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford. I get all that. But you got to play better on the offensive end. Shea can't do this by himself. Shea can only do so much, bro. Because in game 4, Shea showed why he's one of the, probably a top 10 player in the league. He showed why he's a top 10 player. Or a top 5 player in some people's eyes. He showed. He was going off in that fourth quarter. Now it's you guys' turn to come along with him. So he can play good. Like, he can only do so much. And I think defensively, I think they're playing really good defensively. I truly believe that. I think it's just the offense that's giving you problems. Oh yeah, and Mark Daigneault, he finally put Josh Giddey on the bench. Like, Josh Giddey, he just hasn't given you anything on the offensive end. They're leaving him wide open to shoot, and he'd be missing. He just not be hitting. He just not be hitting his shots. So Mark Daigneault last game, he started him. He sat on the bench for a long time, but he didn't start him. He started Isaiah Joe, and Isaiah Joe is a good player, and you need that shooter to surround Shea. So now he got a whole bunch of shooters, and now they don't have to. Now they don't have to leave Josh Giddey wide open, double team, say Shea or J-Dub. They have to cover. They're gonna cover Isaiah Joe. They're gonna cover him. And Josh Giddey, he only played 12 minutes. He gave you 11 points in the 12 minutes, but he only gave you 12 minutes. I think he's starting to kind of shorten not his rotation, but shorten the minutes. Like the other Jalen Wills, he only played 10. Josh Giddey, 12. Aaron Wiggins, he only gave you 11. Now, Casey Wallace is giving you 27 minutes, and I think he's playing good on the defensive end. They just need scoring. They just need consistent scoring. That is the only thing I'm worried about. That is the only thing I'm really worried about the Thunder. And I think in game 6, I think we might see another signature game from SGA. I think I can see him giving 35 points, probably like 7 boards, 8 assists. He's going to have to come to play, and I believe he will come to play. Is J-Dub and Chad and all them others going to come to play? I hope so, because I want the Thunder. I picked the Thunder to win. I picked Thunder in 6. I knew the Mavericks would give them problems because you have top 3, top 5 player in the world in Luka and a top 15, top 20 player in Kyrie. So I knew it was going to be a battle. Am I shocked that the Thunder are down? Yeah, I can say I'm shocked. I can say I'm shocked, but I think that the Thunder, they're gonna show I think they're gonna try and show their dominance, and I think they're gonna take Game 6, and it's gonna be a Game 7 back at OKC. We all know that OKC crowd, man, they go crazy with the white T-shirts and everybody be standing up a majority of the time. I think that's gonna go crazy. Hey, but if Luka gonna have another signature game and have another 30 point type triple-double, and if Kyrie just comes to play and gives you probably 25 points, the Mavericks will definitely win Game 6 at home. It's gonna be a hard fought battle. That game is gonna be really good. I'm excited to see that game, but I'm sticking with my pick. OKC. I'm sticking with my pick at OKC. And like I said, I picked them in 6, but now they got no choice but to go to 7. And I think the Thunder will win. I just think that they just gonna need more help from the offensive end. Their defense is fine. It's just the offensive end. And if Kyrie just comes to play, I think the Mavericks can win. So Thunder in 7. As I said, gonna be a good game though. 2 of the best players in the league. Yep, it's gonna be a good game. Chet is gonna have a good game. I believe it. I believe Chet. I can see him getting a 20-point double-double. I really can see it. But yeah, Thunder and 7. The last series, and then we'll talk about something else, and that will be it. The last series, the Celtics and the Cavs. The Celtics beat the Cavaliers. The Celtics show why they are the best team in the East, and they say this is the Boston Celtics Invitational. The Celtics, they beat the Cavs in 5. Like I said, I was like, I wanted to pick the Cavs in 6, but then I was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna just stay in 5. I think the last time we talked was the Celtics. They had another stinker in game 2. Donovan Mitchell was going crazy, and the Celtics really couldn't just hit their threes. They were being honest. Celtics couldn't hit their threes in game 2, and they got blown out at home. They got 20 pieces at home, and there's nothing you could do about that. It's the same thing that happened with Miami. Miami hit 23 3-pointers, and the Celtics couldn't come back from that. You know, it is what it is. But then the Celtics, as per usual, they went on the road And they did take 2 games. They took 2 games from them. In game 3, I just felt like they were just the better team. I think they showed their dominance. Jason Tatum finally had like his signature game. He dropped 30 points. And he showed like I know he's been hearing all the talk about, oh, why are you not being more aggressive? People saying you're one of the best players in the league, but you're not playing like one. He showed that in game 3. They beat them they blew them out. Now, yeah, they blew them out. They blew them out. They beat them by 13. But they played good. Game 4, that was a different story. I feel like that game was just closer than what it is. I think that's the only problem with the Boston Celtics is they're just playing. It's like they be playing with their food. Like, bro, just finish them off, bro. Like, you're more talented than them. Donovan Mitchell didn't play. He didn't play in that game with a sore calf. And Jared Allen didn't play either. And I'll get about all the calf stuff after this. But those 2 didn't play. And they was just staying in the game. Like, Darius Garland had his best game in game 4. He dropped 30 points. Evan Mobley. Hey, Evan Mobley is good, man. Evan Mobley is a bad man. He's good. But Jason Tatum played good. Jaylen Brown was efficient. 9 for 15 in game 4. 27 points. Jason Tatum had 33 and 11. Drew Holiday played good. He had 16 points. Derek White, before last night's game, Derek White was not playing good. He just wasn't. He wasn't playing good. So you needed Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to play good. Bro, like, you gotta blow them out. I'm sorry. Like, I get it. You gotta dominate a team like this. So I don't know why why are you beating the Cavs by 7 points? Like, the Cavs should not be winning. Karis LeVert gave you good production. 19 points, 5 rebounds. Max Strus, 15 points. Mobley had 19 points in game 4. It shouldn't have been that close, but it's like they'll be up and then they start getting bored, jacking up shots, and then they see they getting close, and then they're like, okay, guys, let's try to turn it up. You got to keep your foot on the gas pedal throughout. And I think that's the problem with the Celtics, and that's eventually going to hurt them in these playoffs. Like, they're going to take their foot off the gas pedal and never put it back on, and then then they're going to lose a game. Now, yesterday in game 5, they were in a battle too. Somehow they was kind of in the battle. Like, that game was low-key kind of close all the way up into basically the 4th quarter. Bro, I'm watching the game, and I said, there's no way Marcus Morris is going crazy like this. Bro, Marcus Morris went 10 for 13, 5 for 6 from the 3, and had 25 points. Marcus Morris is the only reason the Cavs were even close in that game. And Evan Mobley. Man, Evan Mobley had his best. I think he had probably one of his best games of his career. He had 33 points. He showed like his offensive capabilities, because that was the only problem I had with him. I felt like he's really good, but I just felt like his offense hasn't matured like how I thought it was. And it showed like kind of during these playoffs, like he could really be an offensive player. And since he's been playing the 5 instead of the 4, he's been good. Darius Garland, he had another bad game. I don't know what's up with him. He gave you 11 points. He was 4 for 17. I'm sorry, Darius Garland, you're basically the best player. You can't give me 11 points. Like, if you play good, there's a chance you guys probably win. But they didn't have no Donovan Mitchell, no Karis LeVert, no Jared Allen. And they were still in that game. Jason Tatum almost had a triple-double. He had 25, 10 boards, 9 assists. Derek White finally came to play. He had 18 points. Drew Holiday, 13 points. Now the real hero was Al Horford. Al Horford hit 6 3-pointers. He gave you 22 points, 15 rebounds. I was not expecting that from Al Horford. Al Horford is what, the oldest player in the playoffs? One of the oldest players in the league. And he gave you a good game like that. Jaylen Brown, he only went 4 for 9 with 11 points. But, I mean, he didn't – I guess you could say he didn't have to. And I think that's the problem with people like who don't like the Celtics. Like they just expect everybody to go off. But I just feel like there are some games all of them won't have to go off because the team is just so good. And we got to remember that Porzingis isn't there. If Porzingis was there, that's another 20-point score. That's another 20-point score that they had, but he's not playing. So the Celtics, they're going back to the ECF. This is 6 times in 8 years and 3 times in a row. They've really been the best team in the East for who knows how long. Basically, kind of since Jason Tatum has come in the league, him and Jaylen Brown. They are 2 all-star players. And they're going to face either the Knicks or the Pacers. Now, I don't know who. If I'm the Celtics, obviously I would rather face the Pacers, even though they are the healthiest and the Knicks are not the healthiest team. But like I said in the last segment, the Knicks fight, man. They're battle tested. And the Pacers, you know the Pacers ain't going to play no defense on you, and they don't got the defenders really to guard you. Like, they're going to have Andrew Nembhard, Nesmith, and Pascal that can guard them. They can't guard none of them. Like, if Nesmith on Jaylen Brown, just him. He can't guard him. Nembhard on probably Jaylen Brown. No. And they're going to have either Drew Holiday or Derek White on Tyrese Halliburton. I can see them putting Drew Holiday on Derek White. Drew Holiday on Tyrese. If the Pacers do advance. So I would say the Celtics could probably beat them in probably like 5 or 6. Now the Knicks, that series could low-key go to 7 if the Knicks do win. That series could low-key go to 7 because I can see the Knicks taking advantage of games that the Celtics should win. The Celtics are just a better team, bro. And the Porzingis injury, as of right now, is really not showing because they have been facing not good competition. It's only that injury, that absence is only going to show when they make it to the finals. Because I have them going to the finals and I have them winning the finals. That if they have to face either the Nuggets or the Timberwolves or the Mavericks or Thunder, it's going to show. But for now, they kind of don't need Porzingis. I think Porzingis will return. I think he's going to come back this playoffs and play good for them. He's going to be on minutes restriction though because he has a calf injury, man. He's been out. I was just looking it up today. I was like, I think he's been out like 2 weeks, something like that, almost 3 weeks. So I think he returns. The Celtics are they're just better than everybody in the East, and I don't think nobody's really going to beat them. I picked Cavs in 5. I say Cavs. I picked Celtics in 5 against the Cavs, and that came true. Donovan Mitchell didn't play though, and I think if he does play, maybe the series is different. Maybe if he plays last night, maybe they force a game 6. We'll never know. But Celtics are just a dominant team. They should not easily, but I think they should win in the ECF and go right back to the finals. And just play good, man. I really don't think I think either the Knicks or the Pacers can really stop them. So if I had to I'll probably do a prediction right now. Celtics, if they face the Pacers, Celtics in 5. But I wouldn't be shocked if it goes 6. Now, if it's the Knicks, Celtics in 6 or 7. But yeah, the Celtics are they're just a dominant team, man. All right. We're going to talk about, for the last segment, Donovan Mitchell's future. So, as you know, Donovan Mitchell didn't play in these last 2 games. He had a calf injury. I don't think I was like, yeah, he's probably not going to play no more. And he didn't play anymore. Jared Allen, he didn't play. He missed like 8 straight games with a rib injury. Now, there are reports saying that his teammates was frustrated with him not taking like a shot to potentially play and help them in the series because you're first best big man and they need you with your rim protection and you run down the court with them. You help on the fast break. You help them on that, and his teammates got mad. Now, people are different with their injuries. Like some people gonna wait until like they're fully healthy to play. They don't want to take shots. Hey, that's on them. And I don't blame him for not wanting to take the shot. I truly don't blame him for that. Now, Would it have helped? Yeah, I think it would have. And I think it probably would have made a difference in the series. I still would have picked Celtics to win, but I think it would have made a big difference in this series. Darius Garland, he was not good this playoffs. Let's just keep it a bean. He was playing really bad. He gave you 11 points in a closeout game. Like, come on, bro. If this was like a superstar player, they killed him. But Darius Garland isn't like a star or superstar player. So then, they're just going to put that under the rug. And Donovan Mitchell has to choose if he wants to get traded or stay with the Cavs and sign an extension. Obviously, he's going to get the most money from the Cavs because they have his bird rights. Me personally, I would trade Donovan Mitchell because I just feel like he just won't be bad. I just feel like Donovan Mitchell won't return. He wants to be in a bigger market. I saw the Lakers are interested. Brooklyn, they said New York not entirely interested. Donovan Mitchell, the Miami Heat, they're obviously interested. The Miami Heat are low key. They just like the Lakers. They always interested in the star, and they never pull the trigger too. Pat Riley never pulls the trigger on the star. Had a chance with Dame. Had a chance with Bradley Beal. Had a chance with Kevin Durant. Now you got a chance with Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell, like I said it last week, I said Donovan Mitchell goes to the Heat. It helps them put them at top of the East. So, and then I heard that if Donovan Mitchell does stay with the Cavs, they might think about trading Darius Garland. And I don't have a problem with that because I thought it was a good fit. I thought it was going to be a good fit. But Darius Garland was like, he wasn't being aggressive enough. He was being too passive. He was basically just letting Donovan Mitchell do him. And I think Darius Garland has shown, like, I need the ball in my hands to be effective. Because when he doesn't have the ball, he's not like cutting. He's just it's like he's just standing there. He's just standing there. And he just watches Donovan Mitchell do his thing. And they basically got bullied by the Knicks last year in the playoffs. And then you basically had injuries this year, and Darius Garland just didn't play good. Darius Garland has to go somewhere where he can be the lead guard. I saw today that they said the Timberwolves could be a sneaky pick of getting him. My thing is, isn't that going to be the same thing if you going to be with Anthony Edwards? I feel like that's just the same thing to me, if we're being honest. I think he needs to go to, say, like the Spurs, where he will be the definite second option. He will have the ball in his hands. Even though Victor Wembanyama is there, he will have the ball in his hands all the time. He doesn't have to defer to Donovan Mitchell. Like, Victor will have the ball, obviously. He's the best player. But Darius Garland will be the de facto point guard, and we can see a resemblance in his all-star year before Donovan Mitchell was there. Bro, when Darius Garland was the guy, he was amazing. He was really good. He was giving you like 20 and I think like 7 or 8 assists, 9 assists. He was really good. That's what I thought Darius Garland was going to do with Donovan Mitchell. Obviously that isn't the case. And he just signed an extension too. So whatever team gets him is going to have him on a good deal. And I say you basically got to think about breaking this team up. You really got to consider breaking this team up. Injuries, a lot of them wasn't getting along, and then the Jared Allen thing. I don't know if you come back from that because they saying teammates were upset with him, and they might think about trading Jared Allen too. You seeing Evan Mobley at the 5, and management is like, oh, maybe Evan Mobley at the 5 is probably better long term for us. Because Jared Allen, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's like a double-double machine. But he really can't shoot, and he can't help spread the floor. And I saw that the Kings are interested in him. I don't know how that works. You go put Sabonis at the 4? It does. I don't know how that works. The Pelicans, they're interested in him. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. You go play with Zion. And he only has like $20 million for next year. I think this is last year of his deal. So you're getting him on an expiring contract. And they could potentially re-sign him. So I really don't have a problem with that. The Cavs, and then they might fire JB Bickerstaff. I don't think JB Bickerstaff should get fired because he's dealt with injuries all year. Darius Garland missed a lot of time. Mobley basically missed half the year. Jared Allen was good. Donovan Mitchell was hurt. Like, your best players are injured, and he still had that team as a 4th seed. So you got to give JB Bickerstaff his credit that he kept that team afloat. So I don't think he should be fired. I hope he does it because I think he did a good enough a job. I just think the team was just hurt. And then you had injuries in the playoffs. Like, bro, what am I supposed to do with injuries in the playoffs against basically the Boston Celtics when basically their whole team is healthy outside of one guy? I'm basically missing three of my best players. Like, there's nothing I can do. I can't control injuries. So I hope he doesn't get fired. I think Donovan Mitchell's going to go to Cavs management and say, I don't see a vision. I don't see the vision here. I don't think we're going to win here. It really doesn't matter because I don't think the Cavs are better than the Celtics, a healthy Bucks team, the 76ers, and then they're right there at number 4. I don't think they're better than none of them teams. So I don't see them winning the championship no time soon. And like I said, I just think I don't want to say it's Cleveland itself. I just think he just wants to be in New York and just in a bigger market in general. He said he thought he was going to New York when he got traded last time. And he thugged it out. He played. He's been an all-star last 2 years. And he's been really good for them, but I just think it's time for a change and probably go into a rebuild. If you do trade Donovan Mitchell, you're going to get the old Darius Garland back. Darius Garland as the guy, as the primary ball handler, as probably the primary scorer. You build around Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and whatever assets you get from, say, you trade Jared Allen or Donovan Mitchell. I think that's just what they do. And I think they should do that. I think you shouldn't prolong this. Donovan Mitchell literally only has 1 year because I think he's going to decline that player option. I think it's for like high 20-something million. And he's worth way more than that. So I think he declines that immediately. So I would just trade him. I would just trade Donovan Mitchell, keep Darius Garland, trade Jared Allen, keep Mobley. Because Mobley has shown like he's really good. He's really good on the defensive end, and he's shown in these playoffs at least he could be a good offensive player. So just build around them 2, trade them. You're gonna get assets regardless because those are 2 good players. Bro, you get the mother load for Donovan Mitchell. So I just say just trade them 2 and just move on. But the Cavs have a lot of problems. I never thought the Cavs were gonna be like a threat in the East. If we're being honest, like. They're good. They're going to be good in the East, but like a legit threat? No, never thought they would be a threat. The Cavs they're a good team, but they won't win a championship. Their ceiling will always be second round. They'll never go to the conference finals. They'll never go to it. So that's just all I got for the Cavs. And actually, I'll say one last thing. The firing of Frank Vogel, I thought Frank Vogel was just scapegoated. That team didn't have a lot of good role players, and when he asked for a point guard, they told him no. It's like, bro, what you want me to do? And he can only do so much. And I think they're just going to roll back with that team. You do got Mike Budenholzer. I think Mike Budenholzer is kind of just a little bit better than Frank Vogel, at least on the offensive end. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with basically no salary cap, no trade assets. So, but I heard they said they're going to be really aggressive in the trade market. So we're just going to have to wait for that in the summer. I think the Suns are just going to be a good team. And that's it. But Frank Vogel definitely got scapegoated. He definitely got scapegoated. So that is it for the Full Court Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Sheldon Moore, and I will see you guys next week.